So today's day number 2 of the 25 days of rebuilds, and today's challenge, fantasy draft. But we've got to add a little bit to it. We can't just have a basic fantasy draft. That's too easy. And for today's challenge, I can only draft pitchers. So no offense whatsoever until I'm like forced to actually draft them towards the end of the draft. And I've seen this done within the Madden community a couple times where they only draft the offense or only draft defense. I think Brandon TS was the one that I saw that did an offense only one a few months back, and that's where the idea kind of sparked. So with that being said, today's video, fantasy draft, but I can only draft pitchers. All right, so we need to pick a team. 3, 2, 1, boom. We're gonna be the Tigers for today, but it doesn't really matter because it is a fantasy draft. So contracts off, fantasy draft on, ignore budgets on as well. So if you guys are enjoying the number two pick, are you serious? But what I was gonna say, if you guys are enjoying the 25 days of rebuilds, consider hitting that like button down below. And of course, I'm on the road to 100K. So if you're enjoying the content, consider hitting subscribe. So who are we gonna choose with the second pick? There's only one answer. We gotta go with Shohei. Let's do it. But with that being said, we now are gonna have a late pick in the second round. So basically the whole plan here is I'll show you the first few rounds to tell you which pitchers I'm taking. But at a certain point, I'm just gonna take as many pitchers as I can, and then I'm gonna start taking the lowest rated batters available, offense available. The Braves took the player that I wanted in the second round. That's tough. Okay, so basically from here on out, we're just gonna see if we can stack this squad a little bit with some pitching. Kyle Bradish, I think I'm gonna pass on him, but there's got to be some. Like Kershaw's a little too old. Same thing with Verlander. Gosman's an interesting one. Having this late second pick kind of sucks because like Corbin Burns would have been really nice in this spot. You know, maybe someone like a little bit younger, like Yuri Perez. I guess I could do that. Just go like someone a little bit younger with like a potential that is like really, really good. But like, I'm not too sure who I would go for like in this spot that would be like really young. I wanted Yamamoto. I felt like that would have been the perfect one there, but instead I think I'm just gonna go with maybe someone like, is there someone with a potential that's a little bit younger? Most of these guys, Freddie Peralta is pretty good. Same thing with Walker Buehler. I think I go one of these two, and I think we go, I don't think I get Freddie Peralta a lot, so I think I'm gonna go with Freddie Peralta for this one, and then hopefully on the next part of the, there we go. What I was gonna say was on the upcoming round, we can go and get Walker Buehler, who also has a potential. I gotta think about this. Like, who's winning the Cy Youngs? Who's winning the relievers of the year? Because like I gotta build a strong squad here. And let's see here. Bullpen's still looking fairly stacked. Like we're looking pretty healthy over there, so I'm not too worried about that yet. I really want to solidify this starting five. I'm trying to think of who else would be a really good pickup here. Sonny Gray's usually really good for a season or two. Same thing with Zach Wheeler. And since I'm trying to win immediately, I feel like I got to go out and get those best players. Like Verlander's cool and all, but I know he's going to be like 30 overall by the end of the year. Zach Wheeler's pretty good. Sonny Gray's pretty good. So you know what? Let's just go for a bunch of players that I normally don't go with. Let's go Kodai Senga. And maybe here is where we start to maybe pick up a really good reliever. Oh, man, is there a really like Cano good? That's kind of the thing. I feel like I could go with the lower rated relievers and I'll still be okay. I feel like I'm not rushed to do anything right now because like I've already lost Hader. I've already lost out on Edwin Diaz. I've missed like Fairbanks. Who else? Helsley's gone. So like I feel like I've missed out on like the higher rated elite tier for franchise. So like I feel like, you know what, let's just keep going with the pitchers and see who we can get. So instead, let's go with maybe a little, I'm not liking any of the names here. I'm like looking at these and I'm going, there's some good, but there's like none that are really catching my attention. Maybe Framber. Sure, why not? Let's get a lefty in the rotation. Do we already have a lefty in the rotation? We might. All right, let's get this sixth pick over and done with. And I think this one might be a reliever. I feel like we should probably get one here. And let's go with maybe Hendricks. I know Hendricks is lights out. Let's go get Hendricks. And then for this one, let's go get our setup guy in. Ooh, there's some good names here I like that I know are good. We're gonna go Alzolay. I know he's been fairly good for franchise within this roster. So here we go. Let's keep moving forward. Let's go to like round 10, and then I'll just kind of fly through the rest of the picks because realistically all I'm doing is picking pitchers. So it's not like you're missing anything. You're gonna see the team in the end anyway. So here we go. Let's go maybe someone a little bit younger that's got some potential. Let me find somebody. I lied, but I am going to take Jordan Romano just because I know he's a good reliever, and you're probably thinking, why would I do that in the top 10? Well, I just want to get players that I know are going to be good. I also got to think about like who's becoming a free agent, because I got to be able to keep these guys on the team. I was looking around for different pitchers that like I considered like a little bit younger, good players, and I didn't really see anybody that I like really was like, you know what, that's who I want. So maybe instead, let's just finish up the last couple rounds with some good relievers. We're gonna go Armstrong, and then our last pick, maybe like a young reliever that I could turn to. Doesn't really look like it. So instead, let's just go for someone that I know is gonna ball out for a season, and we are gonna get. We don't have a lefty, huh? Yeah, let's get a lefty in the bullpen. So I'm in round 61. I am no longer allowed to draft pitchers. As you can see, the Tigers have the maximum number of pitchers on the roster. So based on what you can kind of see offensively, I'm just gonna simulate the rest of the draft. I'm gonna get stuck with like Matt Carpenter. I don't even who else was available. Darren Ruff. Ooh, we're looking spicy there. I don't even think I can find like any diamonds in the rough that I think I should be able to take, you know. Like I guess I can like look around to see if there is a name that I'm like, you know what, they can actually give me like a season like Michael Brantley. But man, the rest of the these names are rough. So yeah, that's where I'm getting at. I really don't have any other choices here. The rest of the players are pretty bad. So you know what? We're gonna auto sim the rest, and we're gonna see who they choose for us. All right, so everything's on auto because I want to be in control here. So do we have the first pitching? Yeah, of course we do. Everything else is 30th though. So I've got our lineup set. Not like I really had much choice in who was going where. And I've also got the rotation set and who I want up and sent down and everything like that. But first order of business is making sure this guy never leaves. And we're going to give him the money that he wants. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to see if there's anybody else that I want to keep potentially long-term contracts wise. I don't think any offensive players I'm going to want to keep. Maybe Liam Hendricks for a season. Let's see how he does this year. And then we'll kind of go from there. But outside of that, let me show you how we're looking offensively. We've got we've got Shohei Ohtani. That's it. That's literally it. I think I actually need to call up a couple players, and I don't even who's on the 40 man that I can call up that would even be worth calling up offensively. Do we even have anybody? So like we'll call him up. So there's one. Let's call up him too, and we'll call him up, and then that should do it. So that's our offensive side of things. Names, popular household names like Juan Lagares. You know, spent some time with the Angels, the Mets. That was okay. You know, Cole Calhoun. There we go. Brandon Dixon, the Padre. Yep. Was he the Tigers too? He was. Yep. We've got Yoshi Tsutsugo. I don't know if he's with the team right now. Was he with the Pirates last? He was with the Pirates. Chucky Robinson, I believe, was actually just recently released by the Reds, but you can kind of see the other names on the team. It's not looking great, but pitching wise, you know, I feel like we can hold our own. We've got a pretty decent team here. Bullpen looks stacked. Rotation looks really good. And then if you look at the pitchers that I drafted, I try to find some younger guys that would develop over time rather than just taking the best available player, because I felt like our starting five was like completely set. I didn't want to change it up unless someone goes absolutely like just everything goes terribly and it's the worst thing possible. So let's get to the regular season. I guess I have to only draft pitchers in the first year. Draft 2, I feel like that kind of sticks with the whole thing. But outside of that, let's see how this first season goes, and let's see how much a starting pitching team that looks like this can carry an offensive side of things that looks like that. Let's see what happens. So sadly, 63 and 99 is what we finished. The crazy thing is we were still in the race around the all-star break / draft. Like if you look at kind of like April got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we're about 500 here. It may be a little bit under. May kind of the same thing, you know, and then June kind of the same thing. We were sitting around the draft. I believe we were like maybe one game under 500 or one game above 500. We were one game out of the wild card, and then it fell apart. August was really bad. September was really bad. and then of course the end of the season. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the calendar, what, August we won 4 games, September we won, what is that, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, so a total of 13 games after July 21st. Oh man, that is, whoo, boy, that's tough. So yeah, that's the team. Yeah, we didn't do too well. I'm kind of hoping, as it, like, where are we? Batting average 223. Ohtani was the only one above 250 on the squad. Runs, we were dead last by quite a bit. Hits, we were last by a bit. Yeah, we're 100 behind the next team, over 100 by the next team. Home runs, pretty far behind. Runs batted in, pretty far behind. But what about pitching? What about pitching? Are we at the top? We are at the top by 0.02, by 2 points. We beat the Diamondbacks, so that's good to see that the whole pitching thing worked out for us. Base on balls, okay, that was the only stat we led the league in. Were we the worst team in baseball? We were. That's tough. We were the worst team in baseball. Dang. All right, fair enough. Awards, we didn't. Whoa, Jacob deGrom, really? Okay, maybe I should have drafted Jacob deGrom. Mike Trout wins it with the Padres, the MVP. Glasnow with the Cubs could happen in real life. I'd like that. I would like that. And then Jacob deGrom won Cy Young. We didn't even have a candidate in the mix. Wow, really? Michael Brantley won the batting title. I was considering picking him as like our only offensive player. All right, like, we didn't even have a reliever of the year in the area. What is going on? That's super disappointing. We didn't even have a rookie of the year. Did we have a rookie of the year? Kodai could have been in there, but he wasn't. So that's tough. All right, offensively, let's see what we've got here. Just quickly looking at the numbers, like, it's not good, right? It's not. Let me go stats, not team rankings, but player stats. I want to see who was our home run leader. Ohtani with 31, then it went 17, 10, 9. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. Batting average was Ohtani, then it went Jackson Bistafka. Okay, yeah, that's not good. That's really not good. And Jackson Bistafka only had 40 at bats. So realistically, we're looking at Yoshi Tsutsugo, who had 270, who hit 226. Yeah, team's looking pretty rough. Pitching wise, though, I did have to rock with an extra reliever. It looks like Matt Strahm got sent down. Let me see why. Did he have a bad year? He wasn't great, but he wasn't like terrible. So basically how this worked was Hoyer was in AAA. Same thing with Leclerc. So they were both sent down, and the 2 players that I had up were Strahm and Enyel de los Santos, who only pitched 6 innings. I tried to send him down, but he got claimed on waivers, and the Athletics picked him on the waivers. So I was like, no. I'm keeping him. Stay in the squad. And we ended up going with 2 long relievers. Strahm was one of them, along with Quantrill, who definitely held it down with 200 innings pitched as a long reliever. 200 innings pitched. He didn't start a single game. That's insane. Holy cow. 40 innings for Minter. He was fantastic. Romano had a very good season as well. Hoyer didn't pitch. Hendricks only pitched 10 innings. Okay. But he did go down to a 79. It's glitched again, where they're not showing the overall pluses and minuses, so that's disappointing. Sharna Armstrong had a really good season as our setup guy. Leclerc didn't do well in the 1 inning that he had, and then Alzolay was okay. He wasn't fantastic. It looks like this was kind of shuffled around a little bit, because at one point I know I had Hendricks as a closer, and Armstrong was the setup guy at all times, but he only had 1 blown save. So maybe at one point they just completely moved things around based on the shuffling of the bullpen because of the Enyel de los Santos thing. I don't know, but as you can see, we've got a bunch of guys in not free agency, in AAA as well. So we're looking good. We're looking good. I'm liking some of the pitcher developments that we have on the side there. So let's see with Ohtani. Is it bugged for like everybody? It is. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to see how much they actually improved, but it doesn't matter. I'm more worried about the actual performances. Ohtani was okay. Could have been a little bit better, but at the same time, like, oh well. We had one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, and you can see, like, the team was good. Freddie Peralta was fantastic. Framber was fantastic. Walker Buehler was fantastic, and so was Kodai Senga. So the team's looking really good. I just need to find some offense. And you're wondering, how am I going to do that? How am I going to put together a team that can compete with some of the better ones in baseball? Which, let's see who won the World Series. Let's see what some of these teams are. The Pirates defeated the Rangers. Let's go take a look at the Pirates team just to kind of get an idea of what we're coming up against. Arozarena, Mookie, Christian Walker, Yastrzemski. Okay. Nola, John Means, Luis Garcia. Like, honestly, not that crazy of a team. And if I look at standings, let me see if I can find who's ranked number 1. So the Orioles are ranked number 2. So I guess we could take a quick look at that. The Pirates are actually ranked number 1 as a team. So I guess they are a good team, even though they were a wild card team. Okay. The Diamondbacks won 100 games. So I guess we could take a look at them because clearly they're a good team. And so were the Rangers. So let's take a look at the Rangers to get an idea of what's going on here. Quan, Julian, Devers. Okay. Royce Lewis, Goldschmidt. But they've got Cole, Steele, Hendricks. Like, pitching looks good there. What about the Diamondbacks? What do we got going on here? Perdomo, Freeman, Marsh. Like, again, it's like not the craziest of teams, but the pitching looks decent, and it looks like this looks like a decent team too. Albies, Mullins, Lux becomes a good player. Eloy, Teoscar, Adames. Pitching looks decent with Eflin, Gray, Manning, Hader. Like, that's a pretty solid team. We saw this one. I guess this team is actually pretty good. Yeah, this team is actually pretty good. I underrated it for sure. Yeah, this team's nasty. Yeah. This team's gross. I definitely underrated this team. Yeah, this team's nasty. Even the Brewers look pretty good. The Brewers look good. The Reds have some decent players on their squad. Pitching looks okay as well. Like, honestly, they did a really good job at like just kind of balancing out every single team. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do. All right, so exclusive negotiations, I didn't bring back anybody. It was Hendricks, Cole Calhoun, and a couple other outfielders. And so I was thinking about it. Let me show you who I drafted. So obviously we had Ohtani, and then we had these picks here. There was another player that I drafted that I didn't end up signing just because his potential wasn't that high. So I kind of backed out of the deal. But we've got Yoenis Atkinson. First off, crazy name. Second off, looks decent. Looks like he's going to strike out a lot of people. The rest of the per-nines are iffy. Michael Lopez, A potential, looks really solid. Also looks really similar to Atkinson in terms of per-nines. Tom Davis looks okay. Jim Adams looks okay. And Jason Souza. So basically what I've done is I can only draft pitchers. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to improve the pitching of this team. Atkinson could potentially help us out to control. The rest of the per-nines don't look that great right now. But maybe second half of the season, he could come up, help us out of the bullpen, maybe like a 6th man, long reliever type deal, maybe as a 5th man in the rotation if something goes poorly. But you're probably thinking, how are you going to win a World Series if you have no offense? Free agency. So I didn't specify at the beginning of the video because I knew that would be something you'd be thinking of. How am I going to make this team better? How am I going to win a World Series? Well, I stated that I have to draft pitching. But I didn't state how I was going to improve the rest of the team, how I was going to improve the offense. And that is through free agency. That is the only way that I can improve this offense, which it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because I need an entire offense besides Ohtani because we have him at DH. So I got to find an entire offense through this free agent market. And I can't make any trades because I can't trade away my pitchers because I need to keep them because I can't sign any pitchers. So there we go. So I've got a little bit of an issue here. My entire game, like this whole file is glitched. I've exited out of franchise. I've reloaded the franchise save. I've closed the MLB app. I've reloaded it. I've even turned off the console and restarted it. This is kind of annoying because I want to see what actually has improved and what hasn't improved because like I need to know. I need to kind of get an idea of where I'm at. All right, so I just passed the Rule 5 draft, which I didn't even do. Which it's a draft. I could have drafted pitchers, especially because I lost Scott Efros and a starter, but the starter wasn't anybody I was using. Scott Efros, though, was actually on my radar to be a potential reliever for this year, and I should have just, gone into the draft and stole somebody else's reliever. So there's that. Good thing though, yes, I am going after Cody Bellinger, but good thing though, it fixed. So there's that. I just had to, for some reason, go into the Rule 5 draft and back out, and it fixed everything. Issue is, I don't think our team is good offensively enough. You can see really quickly, I've signed a lot of players. The thing is, they're not really crazy good. I showed you quickly because I'll show you all in a second. But Yeah, I didn't even think about using the Rule 5 draft as a possibility to improve the team, especially since I lost some. I don't have a catcher. Oh, all right. There's that. So second season, we've made some changes. I don't even know what our budget's looking like, to be honest. We're somehow not over budget, which is kind of crazy. I honestly thought we were going to be. We are currently ranked the second best team in all of baseball. Defensively, we're lacking. We are lacking hard defensively, let me tell you. And we're probably going to steal like 4 bases all year. But let me tell you, the team's looking spicy. All right, so offense or pitching wise, it's the exact same team. We've got some good players. I'm keeping my eye on this year to see how things go throughout the season, because especially like here, a lot of like mid 70s, gonna be high 70s. And with the bullpen, I have a feeling we're gonna have to move some pieces around to get the best outcome. But right now, this is what we've got going on, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So offensively, here we are. We've got the bench with Grossman, Cooper, Biggio, Talkman, Wisdom, and Barnhart. A lot of former Cubs and Cubs on this team. I'm starting to realize that now. Didn't mean for that to happen. They were just available in free agency, and I went for them, and they were super cheap. Like, I'm going to show you the budget right here. You're going to see, like, yeah, like Soler got 10, Cody Bellinger got a bit. I'm trying to see other positions. Like, Brian Anderson got 6 mil, 5 mil, 5 mil, 5 mil, 5 mil. But then, like, once we start getting down here, you're going to see some guys, so like a lot of them, like 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Like, there's a lot of $1 million deals, because I was like, you know what? I don't know if we're really going to keep a lot of these people. So, yeah, bench currently looks like this. Lineup currently looks like this. Yes, we have Josh Rojas at short. It's not my best move. There just really weren't many other good shortstops available. And, like, just looking at it now, still not many good shortstops available. I could go Tim Anderson, but you know what? We'll give Josh Rojas a shot. So, Rojas is in the team. We've got Ohtani, Bellinger, Soler, Jock Peterson, Owen Miller, Brian Anderson, Jesus Sanchez, and Yasmani Grandal. So as you can see, defensively, not good. It's not great. And just to make sure you guys trust me and you can see all the moves that I made, every single player is a free agent except for the pitchers that we drafted. And for some reason, this says I made a trade with Milwaukee. I didn't make a trade with Milwaukee. I also didn't make a trade with Texas. This guy was on the team last year. What do you mean? It's bugged. Like, I didn't claim this guy off the Mets waivers. I didn't claim this guy off Chicago's waivers. What's going on? I drafted him. So maybe they just can't say that I signed him as a free agent, because like Enyo de los Santos wasn't a free agent because he was on the team last year too. So yeah, but you could see literally every single player is a free agent. Same thing, like you can kind of see what's going on here. Okay, so yeah, it just shows like certain players were traded for some reason. I guess they make it up with the fantasy draft. But yeah, every player that we signed this season was a free agent, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. We've got some players here in AAA too that could help us out if we really need to, like McKinstry, maybe Daza, maybe there was another one. Oh, I got Justin Foscue out of free agency. I don't know how I did it, but I did. So he's in the team with B potential. Looking forward to that. We got Dom Smith if we really need to turn to somebody. Ryan Notice potential also went up to C. Catcher, we're super weak, so there's that. But other than that, the team's looking crazy good. Good power, ranked first for pitching. I feel like this is a playoff team. All right, so we won 100 games, only lost 62, taking on the winner of the wild card game. So we're going to be facing the White Sox or the Twins. Let's take a, yeah, I guess we'll wait. We'll see what team we end up facing. League leaders, Ohtani had the best winning percentage, and offensively, he was insane. The fact that we were able to get that pick, though, is kind of crazy. And then awards, we have a Cy Young winner, a Hank Aaron Award, and an MVP, which is awesome. Matt Olson is with the Red Sox, had a pretty good year. And then Acuna with the Guardians. Okay, Judge with the Dodgers. Interesting. Soto with the Rockies. And then Trout, of course, with the Padres. Cy Young went to Strider and Ohtani. DeGrom, once again, had a really good season. And then Buehler was in third. Batting title. Okay, Bryce Harper's with the Dodgers. So they have Judge and Harper. Wow. Evan Phillips was the reliever of the year. We didn't have one. Our bullpen became a mess really quickly. Rookie of the year went to Oscar Colas and Colton Cowser. Okay, so pitching wise, this whole thing was a mess. Like it just was. It was. But I think we've got it sorted now. This is how I'm gonna want it into the postseason. So Quantrill only pitched 128 innings this season compared to the 200 that he did last year, but still was very good. We've got Junis, who didn't pitch at all, but if you look at some of the other guys that pitched for us, Strom was okay. He pitched basically the exact same amount of innings. Just allowed more walks. That was kind of his issue this year. Same amount of runs. So there's that. And then where is he? Enyel de los Santos wasn't as good as I was hoping. When you look at his per nines though, he looks like he'd be a good reliever, and normally he is. So there's that. Looking at our starters, we've got some good starters developing, so that's good to see. And Jake Junis didn't pitch, like I said. Romano was really not great. He only pitched half the innings that he did last year though, but he did allow double the runs, triple the home runs too. Like, it's just not a good mix. Not feeling great about this. Leclerc only 2 1/3 inning. We got Hoyer, who didn't pitch at all. Alzolay was solid, and then so was Sean Armstrong. And our closer, AJ Minter, was fantastic. A lot of these guys are becoming free agents, so we got to lock them up before they actually hit free agency. You got Ohtani, who was fantastic. Love to see the numbers that he put up. Bueller, again, outstanding. Love to see it. Peralta, also very, very good. Kodai Senga, also very, very good. And then Framber was our 5, and he struggled a little bit. Not gonna lie, he struggled a little bit, but overall, can't complain. Like, the team was solid. As a team, where did we rank pitching wise? Because that's the whole point of this. Were we a good pitching team? Oh, number 1 for batting average. Oh, look at that. What about number 1 for runs? Love to see that. What about home runs? Number 1 for home runs. We went from bottom to top in one season. And if you look at the team, it really isn't that good offensively. Like, what are we ranked offensively? We are ranked 20th contact, 8th in power, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's the craziest of teams offensively. And then if we take a look at pitching, where are we as a team? We are 3rd for ERA by quite a bit. The Cardinals, I did talk about the Cardinals last season. They did have some pretty good pitching, and it shows. And DeGrom with the Angels there. So offensively, there were a couple players that got moved around, and the big issue that we had was we didn't have enough players in the minor leagues, like position players. So we had to move some pieces around, and really the only thing that happened was Josh Rojas got taken out, and he only had 23 at-bats all season, which it sucks because when you look at his like offensive numbers, definitely could have helped us out a little bit more. But yeah, the CPU just kind of changed up a couple of the lineup, like the players in the lineup. So that did happen, which is a little bit of a bummer, but we still won 100 games. So like, I'm not too fussed about it. And realistically, when Josh Rojas probably should have played more based off of like the +8 and +5 that he went up. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. So Owen Miller played shortstop. He had a really good season. But let's talk about the bench here, because Grossman, are you serious? Holy cow, faced lefties all season and mashed. Kevin Biggio looks like he played second base for us versus righties, when I really only wanted him facing lefties because he hits lefties better, but he wasn't too bad. Patrick Wisdom, honestly, yeah, keep doing that. I like that. Talkman was okay, and then Barnhart was the backup catcher, so I'm not too worried about that. But Owen Miller had a good season. Had a really good season. Was our main shortstop, did the job. Rojas, like we said, wasn't that great. Ohtani, 54 home runs, 400 on base percentage, 1075 OPS. We've got Cody Bellinger with 32 home runs. We've got Jock Peterson hitting 280 with an 824 OPS. I mean, the team as a whole is just putting up some serious numbers. Soler has almost a 900 OPS with 36 home runs and 30 doubles. Okay. Brian Anderson was meh, you know. Grandal, not bad. Not bad at all. Didn't expect that from him, but he did it. And then Jesus Sanchez played a bit part role, kind of got moved out of the lineup a little bit. He was okay. I'm going to give him some more ABs for the postseason. So yeah, this is the team. Again, if you looked at this team in real life, you'd probably think that's not a playoff team. Yeah, there's Bellinger. Yeah, there's Ohtani. And a couple of these guys may give you some spurts throughout the season where they give you some good parts. Like, they give you a week or two where they're just unbelievable at the plate. But for the most part, you're looking at this going like, Josh Rojas, like Owen Miller, okay, like Soler's decent, he's gonna hit you some home runs, same thing with Jock, but like Yasmani Grandal, Brian Anderson, you know what I mean? You got Barnhart on the bench, like Talkman, he's gonna get on base, but like, does he really provide much power? He's a solid player, but like, again, this is a team that you're probably going, they should fight for a playoff spot. They're not really gonna be in there. We're ranked first for batting average, runs, home runs, and everything like that. So somebody's maybe we've got the trash can in the dugout, we've got the buzzer, something's going on, because there's no way we should be this good offensively for this team. So let's go see who we're facing in the postseason, and it is going to be the Twins. Okay, let's go see what the Twins are up to. What kind of squad do they have? So, J-Ram, really? And Julio Rodriguez? Okay, Ian Happ's good. Polanco, Carlos, this is a good team. Woodruff's good. Giolito, how did he do this year? Not great. Okay, Skeens, Jojo Romero. Okay, pitching is iffy, right? Pitching's iffy, but that's a good offense. All right, so here we go. Game 1. We don't have all lineups set. No. I set up. Oh, I missed one. I thought I set up all lineups. It doesn't matter. It's the no DH lineup. Anyways, here we go. We win. We lost. Wow. Oh, he blew it. The closer blew it. No, Minter. It comes down to Framber versus Jojo Romero, and we win 15-2, taking on the Red Sox now. I mean, the fact that it went the whole series is kind of crazy. So that Xander's back at Boston. Matt Olson, Nolan Gorman, that's some power right there. Yainer Diaz, Jordan Walker. This is a good team too. Marcelo Meyer, okay. All right, pitching, Gosman, Trevor Rogers, Stroman. Okay, so like pitching, again, not as good. Offense looks pretty solid, but it's going to be a good matchup. So we got Shohei, who has a 7 ERA for the postseason. All right, Shohei, turn it around. Okay, we lose. We win the second one though. Peralta wins. Kodai loses 8-1. We win that one 6-0, and Ohtani gets the dub 8-6. We're taking on the Marlins in the World Series, which I feel like they've got a good squad. Lindor, Benintendi, Adolis, Outman, McMahon. Like, it's one of those teams where on franchise it does really well. That's exactly what this is, and that's why they're in the World Series. And if you look at their pitching, I mean, Javier's decent, Hunter Green, okay. Actually, let's see what they've got. Montgomery's good. He's always good in franchise. Singer was okay. Desclafani looked like he had a great season, and their bullpen was pretty good. Some standout players that definitely struggled, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And I'm assuming their offense was pretty solid this season too. I mean, Adolis was. Outman was okay. Like, JD Davis was nasty. I'm looking at this going like, it was good. It's a very, like, just good team, right? Like, nothing outstanding, but it's good. It's going to get the job done. And I feel like that's what happens with fantasy drafts and MLB The Show. Like, you just need a team that's just like super consistent, and it's going to be good enough. So again, we have Bueller going first. Man, Sanga's been struggling, so he might be a guy that we got to just maybe something like this. Like, Ohtani is also struggling, but we're gonna rock like that. How's the bullpen looking? Bullpen's been holding it down, besides Minter, who had that one blown save. Lineup wise, heading into the World Series, Owen Miller's struggling, so maybe we kind of move some things around. Maybe something like maybe Jesus Sanchez pops up a little bit here, and then Patrick Wisdom in for Anderson, and I think we go like that. And then versus lefties, anybody really struggling? Biggio. Is there anybody I can put in? Not really. So maybe you just move everybody up a spot. Biggio slides down a little bit, move Wisdom up, and then maybe a little something like that. That might work for the World Series. All right, Christian Javier, 0-3 in the postseason. We win 3-2. We win 7-1. Peralta loses. Framber loses. 3 in a row. Okay, it comes down to Game 7 with Ohtani. Can he clutch it up? He does. 8-5. Whew. Pitching was starting to let me down a little bit. Like, Leclerc won this game. It's 3-2. So, like, no, don't go to the offseason. Box score. It looks like we scored in the 9th to win it. Wow. Okay. That was a close one. 7-1, we won that one. 7-2, we lost. 6-7, we lost. It looks like the bullpen lost this one. We were up 5-4 in the 5th, and then sixth inning sixth inning they allowed 3 runs there, huh? That's tough. So, I mean, that's a tough loss. 2-3, that's a tough loss there, but 2-1, 8-5. We got the job done. That's all that matters. All right, awards. MVP was Shohei Ohtani, and also the playoff MVP. Look at that. Oh, wow. 371, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs. Soler had 5 home runs, 19 RBIs in the postseason, and Cody Bellinger. All three of these guys. We went for the home run or bust lineup, and it worked. Grossman hit 435 in the postseason. That is massive. Josh Rojas was pretty bad. So maybe that CPU made the right decision in not playing him during the regular season. But Ohtani was crazy. Bellinger was crazy. Soler was really good. Even Jock Peterson. Yeah, the home runs and the run production wasn't there, but almost a 300 average is insane. Same thing with Sanchez. Patrick Wisdom. Have a postseason, man. Have a postseason. Yasmani Grandal hit 254 and Owen Miller 243. For a team that I really built around pitching, Buehler really was the only one, along with Framber Valdez, who held it down for the postseason. And if we look at the bullpen, Quantrill was very good, which is awesome. That was a main piece for us. Romano was good during the postseason, but not during the regular season. Leclerc was good. Hoyer was good. Alzolay was good. Armstrong was good. And then Minter, yeesh. So the bullpen actually was good. Was actually good. I thought the bullpen like kind of blew everything. No, the bullpen was good. It was our starters that let us down. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. The pitcher only fantasy draft challenge. The fact that we were able to go from the best pitching team in baseball to somehow going from the best offensive team in baseball and winning a World Series. How did that work out? Especially when we really didn't make too many crazy free agent signings, but it just worked out that way. So that's going to end today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, in the comment section, if you got some more ideas for the 25 days of rebuilds, let me know. I might use one of them. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.